How is it going, everybody? Circle on up. We are here to check out a new artist that I haven't heard of before. I don't know how long this individual's been around, but this was just brought to my attention a little bit ago. Seedhe Maut. I apologize if I mispronounced the name. I probably did. But it's their song called Red. Admittedly, to the person who, did suggest this to me, it took me a lot longer than I thought it would to find an English subtitled version of this, so I apologize for the wait, but let's enjoy this. I am very excited to see what they got to say. Oh, nice. Using tour stuff as part of your video, I always think is peak. It not only lets your fans know where you're going and what you've been able to do, but, also lets people know what your concerts are like, what kind of time you do on stage. Or what kind of fun time you have on stage, how you act on stage, those kinds of things. It's a really good way of, letting your audience be aware of who you are. All right, we're having a good time. But things aren't all as it seems. Okay, what are we doing here?
खास में क्लब प्रमोशन सुबह की पहली मेट्रो है ओनली ऑप्शन जिन क्लबों में वो करता काम उन क्लबों में वो लेजेंड है और उन गलियों में दे कॉल हिम काम ये है मेहनत मजे का विकसित रूप जहाँ भगते हम परछाइयों से जाते जहाँ पे दिखती धूप और म्यूजिक इन्फ्लुएंशियल है समझा कितना मैं तब से जब से एमिनेम ने बोला तो इट्स मदरफकिंग लिम्ब बिस्किट 2 मैं आना कहानी करता नहीं माइक पे आते या स्पिट द ट्रूथ हुआ था जो हमारे साथ कर रहे वही हम हूबहू कुछ बच्चे हैं नए सीन में हूँ रिस्क इट टू गेट द बिस्किट क्योंकि सीधे मौत ने किया जो कहा लिख द sickest dude.
Okay, so I was trying to just get a feel for what was going on in the song itself. And I'm seeing, that how we got to this point as an artist, the things that inspired us to get to where we're at, the people that got us to, pick up a mic. And I just think it's so cool that, guys like Eminem and Limp Bizkit had that much of a reach for this gentleman. In a world that, for whatever reason, people try and act like, oh, this guy, guys like Eminem don't really matter for the conversation. It's a whole conversation that I just hate hearing people even say because it's just immature and unrealistic. If his inspiration affects people all over the world to be able to make music, then I think that's the best thing ever, So.
The biscuit क्योंकि सीधे मौत ने किया जो कहा लिख the sickest dudes जाने मन जाने जा मुझे जान जाए पर खाली कभी ना बांध जाए वचन जाए ना कभी चाहे चले या प्राण जाए खमन जाए ना जिसके हृदय में हनुमान जाए भारत में सबसे बेहतर तो भूखे भालू गाती नहीं है मैना तो लिखते हैं जैसे
Miana does not sing but they write as if it does. Is from the Sarangi Naidu's poem titled A Bird of Time. I wish I knew anything about that. That sounds really, really cool, though.
Sarojini Naidu values जैसे फ्रॉडी नहीं बस इतनी सी hypocrisy कि we living like kings in world's largest democracy.
So, Baiju is an Indian edtech company that offers online learning. Not a fraud like Baiju, just a bit of hypocrisy.
सी hypocrisy की we living like
And we're living like kings in the world's largest democracy. Ong. Interesting.
kings in world's largest
I feel like what is probably being described here, because I feel like I'm missing some of the context, but it seems to me like what we're talking about is similar to how Bloodywood talks about their culture and about the highs and lows of what they have to experience. This guy is speaking about the life that he's lived and the ways that he's seen, there be opportunity and also, people trying to take advantage of others in the world that he lives in. Similar like Ren, as well, talking about, hey, here's where we are. This is what we're trying to do to make it through. And then here's certain types of people that try and take advantage of things or offer opportunities that aren't actually beneficial, that kind of thing.
democracy भूरी है खाल भूरे कंधे पे हाथ APJ बोस भगत सिंह चंद्रशेखर आजाद बोले मुझे जब आती इस देश के लोगों की बात तो याद दिलाता रहियो इनको इस भूरी मिट्टी की औकात.
Okay. So he just shouted out a bunch of freedom fighters from his country and saying, hey, they told us care about the color of your skin. I assume that's what he was meaning with that metaphor. So then, yeah, he's writing it to say people are going to call me, anti this, anti that. Well, I care about the power of the people, whatever that means in terms of how a government is able to uphold itself at that point. That's crazy. There was something else. Oh yeah, just the fact that his flow is just very laid back and it's very, it's not complicated at all. I think it's just really just making it a lot more impactful what he's saying, and especially the guitar as well, just being very free form, or free flowing, makes it sound even more just, we're saying something simple, but it's something impactful. So he's doing this. That's why I wasn't sure if when he was saying brown soil, if he was talking about the soil of the earth or doing a metaphor of like brown, like the skin, the soil. I'm working the soil. I'm a man of the earth. I didn't know if that's the route that he was going with that. So.
Anti-government ये बोले anti-national मैं international anti-establishment तू बहुत ही मेहनती और sentimental different animal हूँ जहरीला chemical इन सारे कीड़ों के लिए जो करते गाने share पर करना चाहते हमें मन ही मन cancel तो आज़ोर.
Okay, so I think that is a really cool metaphor, or symbol there, that he's rapping, he's doing his thing in front of a firing squad. He's not backing down a single moment. He's like, nope, I'm hardworking and sentimental, good things. I care about working hard for what I have. I am against the government coming in and trying to take that away, or maybe the government subsidizing things. I feel like that's a sentiment that, while obviously there's a lot more we could talk about it, I think that's a sentiment that a lot of people in the States have a bit of discussion about. A lot of us were raised to work for what you eat and working hard to earn your way into being able to do things, not being handed things to you. And I know that, it's not one or the other these days. There's some people who have this value that identify this way and vice versa. I'm saying this and this because the instant that I apply a name to either of those parties, someone on the other side is going to get mad and go, well, I don't think that. Well, I never said that. That's how diverse everything's becoming these days. It's just some of us care to work hard for what we get and not expect anything from anyone. And some people might not really care as much. They want to have opportunity. They want to have things given to them. Some of us don't like that idea. So that's all I'm saying.
लगा ले पूरी गांड का दिल्ली हो या मुंबई कोई बाल ना उखाड़े मेरी झटका जाती पाती करे जो पैदा मारूं मैं उसकी जात का पौड़ी गढ़वाली हिंदुस्तानी हिंदी है मेरी भाषा और इतनी आशा है कि लौंडे तू मुझे समझ पाए परवरिश में तेरी और मेरी कुछ इतना फर्क ना है क्लब प्रमोटर और एक कॉल सेंटर वाला ये कहना चाह रहे हम दोनों अगर कर सकते हैं तो तू भी कर सकता.
Oh, I like that. So he's walking through the street walking by that kid who is in the same position as he was, and then he's going up the stairs, I'm assuming to a stage. But he was saying a club promoter and a call center worker wants to say that. So I think he was saying I worked as a club promoter, a call center worker, very menial jobs, just kind of scraping by. I want these kids to know who didn't have opportunity to, know that they can do whatever they set their mind to, which is true. It's very much true.
ये कहना चाह रहे हम दोनों अगर कर सकते हैं तो तू भी कर सकता है नहीं थी 3 की टेबल दूर रही टीवी केबल जब मारते 4 लोग मल्टी जब नहीं थे 12 लेबल जब नहीं थी बार्स में शक्ति जब घूमते तलाश में चौकी दिस शिट अनरियल अब बातें 36 नी टेबल में नौकी तेरा
So first of all, I love the Last Supper sort of aesthetic here. I know it's not really the Last Supper, and there's certain poses that would have to be used in order to articulate it. But it made me think of like Damn or Be Humble by Kendrick and all that stuff. And just the idea of someone in the center being the one to talk about the truth is the essence of what I was getting at. I was trying to follow what this was saying. When 4 people would kill it, 4 people would kill it on a multi. When there weren't 12 labels. When there wasn't power in the bars, when we roamed around searching for jobs. This feels unreal. Now 36 don't fit at a table of 9. I'm assuming what's going on here is in a time before all these labels pushed for everything to be a certain way and sort of had control of a lot of stuff, we were just a bunch of people rapping, trying to make it. And, now we have all this accomplishment and we've kind of outgrown the spaces we used to be in. I don't honestly track every single line here. I'm not quite feeling it. Now 36, I'm assuming he might be saying he's 36. Don't fit in a table of 9. Maybe a table of 9 is like a booth that you could have fit in, or, your family dinner table. I don't know. Please let me know in the comments if you know.
सीधे मौत ही बोलूं जब मैं लेगी मौत पे ये ब्रेड है सॉगी होते कॉकी उड़ते पंचेस रॉकी नी छोड़ते मौका कॉला बोला बॉयज गॉट योर न्यू डील बोला है घर पे पैसे का नो सील कांडी लौंडे जो कभी नहीं थे सोशल सीधे करते
I feel like there's some stuff that I am still having a hard time tracking, but I get the basics of now I'm actually reaching success. I'm able to provide for people. I'm able to, do that. And also an American reference, Rocky letting those punches fly. Rocky wasn't the best fighter. And I think that's one of the things that makes the film so interesting. It's the fact that he wasn't even that good of a technical fighter. That wasn't the point. He wasn't like this hidden gem of a prodigy. He just knew how to take a punch and knew how to keep getting back up. So I love that idea. We don't miss chances. Mo called and said, boys, got you a new deal. Okay. His manager or lawyer kind of looking out for him to try and get him the best for his money. I told my family there's no issue about money. Rebellious boys who were never well behaved. So it's like you were never well behaved. Maybe you did have to, spend more to kind of keep us in line. We were rebellious kids. Maybe you had to bail us out a couple times. I don't know his history, but saying, hey, there's no issue with this now. I'm sure that must have come as a great sigh of relief for them, Okay, so yeah, so he had his buddies behind him taking care of the threat, and he was saying, I don't even pay attention to you unless you're a friend, because it's hard to tell sometimes. And then when they're trying to argue about his value, they said, you play more than 100 shows, then come and lecture me. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I like what's going to be happening here with the arms behind it. One of my favorite things with dance and also with cultural stuff with them having the, oh, I forgot what Buddha it was, Tara, that had multiple hands behind her. I forgot who it was. Yeah. Anyway, point that they were saying too is come lecture me once you've done all this stuff. But some people never mature. Some people never change. We were actually just talking about that on this channel with how some people just truly don't mature and they don't change and they don't learn anything. But then they get on the internet and start arguing with like-mindedly ignorant people about how they don't like certain things. And it's just a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
ऐसी फैली भीड़ है वो कहीं पे दिखती भी नहीं ऐसा भरोसा खुद पे कॉलेज जाके डिग्री ली नहीं तेरे भाई को चाहिए नहीं कोई रीजन टू पॉप ऑफ और भाई जाए हार्ड है म्यूजिक का सॉफ्ट स्पॉट और पीछे कटाना लेके करेगा चॉप चॉप पर आई नहीं वो यहाँ तक जस्ट टॉक टॉक में करूंगा नॉक नॉक तो पिटेंगे ऑफ पॉप हम बांटेंगे मॉक पॉट है सारा गेम ऑन लॉक हमारे जैसा लेवल पे करेगा और कौन और गले में खजाना लेके घूमे तो बॉस डॉग जीने का कारण
Ooh, that was really, really smooth. So obviously great flow there. I loved how the dancers were moving along with it really well. And there was a couple moments where things were zoomed in on. So like, their eyes went back and forth at one point. Their hands went boom, boom, to hit the beat of the song, which was really cool. And he's just kind of saying, hey, I am good at this. I am a big boss in this game and I know my worth and I'm better than what you say. So
फैमिली जो चूल्हे भाई बनता है सोना वैसे ये साथ में माइक और कोई नहीं प्लान बी साथ में कैसे भी लगती महंगी साथ में फैम और अब लाखों फैंस भी शो पे थोड़े बैरिकेड नेशन की स्टैम्पीड अब जाने पूरी
I love that editing right there.
लूथर सुपरमैन नहीं तेरा भाई यहाँ पे पहुंचा है बहुत भगाई
Okay, I'm Lex Luthor, not Superman. I'm not your savior. I'm really smart though, and I'm, going about this to try and, attack what I think is a horrible thing, which is the ignorance that he's seeing in his culture and just with people on in general. Very, very interesting. I also liked how he was saying like friends and family, that's the most important thing. Me being on this mic, that is my only option. I don't have another plan B. I didn't go to school. He said that earlier. I like how he's kind of just putting it out there that like, this is who I am and this is what I value. And I care about bringing something of substance to people. So that's cool.
सोनी मैं 209 और अब भी ये पैर बस्ती के जमीन पे हूँ जबकि ले रहा साल की मैं 100 फ्लाइट है ना पॉप ऑफ राइट है मैं जॉब्स लाइक माइक जब भी डालूं ना मैं बोर्ड पे तो लड़ो मेरे पेन से क्यों हो पेन से न्यू ये पैसा अभी लाखों अकाउंट में लेकिन अभी करूँ रैप लाइक my rent is due क्योंकि नहीं थी तीन की
So my rent is due, that's a whole thing of like you put out more effort in order to get a little bit more money because you got to pay for stuff. It's a term we've heard before. So so then we're going back to this because there wasn't a table for three here. TV and cable were far away from us. Oh, it might have just been talking about how he grew up in a little bit of poverty. They couldn't have nice things like that.
लेबल हमसे दूर रहे टीवी केबल खाली मारते जब चार लोग मल्टी जब नहीं थे हम 12 लेबल जब नहीं थी इन बार्स में शक्ति जब नहीं थे इन चार्ज हम कश्ती के जब नहीं थी एक कार और घर भी खाली माल और कड़की और एक माइक और छत्ती मेरी फाइट थी वक्त से मेरी फाइट थी खुद से मेरे साथ थे शब्द थी तभी चली मेरी कलम कहती रहने दो जाओ माचो दाओ कोई नहीं चाहिए बहन चोद तेरा भाई सीधे मौत बिग प्लान्स ब्रो यहाँ पे नहीं बचोगे फैक रैप डोंट स्टैंड क्लोज बैक टू बैक लैब में ट्रैप दे शॉट दो हम नहीं करेंगे आउट रैप ये फैक लोग हम नहीं करा था पहले दिन से क्रैक कोड है दोनों भाई गेम के बैकबोन
I really like the setup here with whatever's in the background there. It looks like an old movie filter with the black and white and stuff. Very, very cool. So the brother that he said was in here, I don't know who that is. Unless one is said and one is Maut. I like that though. That's so cool. Maybe Hisab is the person who mixed and mastered it. Maybe that's his brother. That'd be really cool if the vocalist and their brother were working together with this. That would be really, really nice. That's so cool though. That's awesome. Oh, also I forgot to mention, I liked how some of his merch was the face mask he had out in the desert. That's pretty cool. But that was Red. I really, really like this. This was cool. Just like when I checked out Ren, I love hearing an artist talk about their life, talk about who they are. For artists that do that, um, I think there's only value that you can give to others by being honest with who you are and your life experiences and letting people know, the reality of what you go through. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Please tell me in the comments. And that is all I have to say about that. Obviously, link to this can be in the description. To the original is going to be in the description. Go support the guy if you haven't already. And that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.